Look at the first halving, how important it was. Then the second halving went down, the third halving went down, the fourth halving went down. So it's a lot of people are going, well, we're kind of losing our mojo here, right? Actually, we haven't lost our mojo at all. And this is really just a function of this data here being in linear form as opposed to log linear, okay? And now let's look at this thing in log linear. We should expect 209,700 in 4 years. Now, does that mean we don't go up to 600,000 and we crash back down to 209,000? It may. We could also go up to 600,000 and stay at 400,000 in 4 years too. That's also within the model. Yeah, we could go up to 356,000 this year and still be well within the model. Or we could go up somewhere next year, which I kind of think is more likely. I kind of think it's more likely that, we kind of hit like 500,000. We're kind of moving into this band here. We're going to kind of go all the way up to somewhere around 400,000. We're going to kind of trail back down. And then we're going to kind of meet. And here's where we're going to be at the next halving.
Fred Krueger, a seasoned investor and mathematician with a Stanford PhD, predicts Bitcoin's massive growth despite recent price fluctuations. The expert forecasts Bitcoin reaching up to $600,000 per coin, with potential peaks of $360,000 to $370,000 this year and $500,000 next year. He emphasizes Bitcoin's consistent 4-year cycle, with peak bull run periods occurring 18 months post-halving. Using a power law model, Fred shows Bitcoin's steady price growth across halving cycles, encouraging investors to hold the asset for long-term financial success. We will now bring you clips of Fred Krueger as he discusses Bitcoin's price forecast for this coming bull run. While watching, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and enable post notifications for more similar content. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video as Krueger shows actual charts proving Bitcoin's inevitable rise. Thanks and enjoy.
Here's the tweet. And he said, oh, look at the first halving, how important it was. Then the second halving went down, the third halving went down, the fourth halving went down. So it's a lot of people are going, well, we're kind of losing our mojo here, right? This thing is going to go lower and lower and lower and lower, and it's just going to flatten out, right? And, I get why people think that. And it's actually an error of math. It's not an error of math. It's sort of a mathematical illusion, right? So I think we have this model here, and this is shared by Velez, 13%er. I think this model, you sort of see, oh, we went from 0 to 12. We went from 12 to 65. So that's like about a 60x, right? Then we went up from 653 to 8,568. So that's like a 20x, right? And then we went from 8,500 to 61,000, which is about a 7x, right? And so you're like, okay, seems like it's slowing. So we kind of lost our mojo here, right? And you look at this, and it's Oscar Velez. That's who it is, by the OV. That's his signature there. A little shout out to him for putting this nice sheet. And so you sort of see a sort of a bending, almost a logarithmic curve. And you're like, where are we going to be in halving number 5, right? Now, actually, we haven't lost our mojo at all. And this is really just a function of this data here being in linear form as opposed to log linear, okay? So let's now show you, I'm going to switch over to this tab. And now let's look at this thing in log linear format, okay? And if we look at it in log linear format, we see that here's the block time in block years, right? 4, 8, 12, 16. We're at year 16 in block time here. And we have the price. Here's the price from Oscar Velez's, just the price at the last 4 halvings. Let's take the log of time and let's take the log of price, right? And then if we look at these halvings on a log space, you'll see this distance here is a lot bigger in log space than this distance here, which is a lot bigger than this distance here in log space, right? So we're not looking at equal log things. We're looking at equal chronological time things, right? And that's where the problem is, because we are not linear in log space. We're linear in log space, right? So if you look at it in log space, it's actually amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. What is the chance that these 4 data points lie on a perfectly straight line? It's just incredible, right? And let's wait. We can even calculate the R square of this. R square of this price and this fit over here. Boom. 99.8%. Isn't that amazing? We have a 99.8% R squared with these 4 data points. Like, this is incredible that this thing falls on this line. It's just beyond crazy that this stuff falls on this line in log space. And so that's kind of my tweet that I came out here. Let's go back to this tweet. And I kind of said, I said, look, this tweet, math is tricky. And if you plot it in log space, you get these. And so I put a little question here and I said, if you continue this line, what are we going to get in the next halving? And I sort of put it as a question just to see how everybody's math intuition. And I would say everybody was challenged, because the correct answer is 209,761. That's the correct answer. And you can see I put 15% people thought, oh, it's going to go to 1.7 million. Well, you might want to believe that, but that's not where this line goes, right? And you can see that if I go back to the spreadsheet here, I just take these 4 data points, I do the regression, that's it here, that's just formula here, okay? And I just plot it out there. 20 is this in log time. Here's the regression formula, which is equal to this linear formula in log space. And that corresponds to a log price of 5.32, which is 209,700, right? So it tells you that if this trend was to be the same in 4 years, if again it falls exactly on the halving, we should expect 209,700 in 4 years. Now, does that mean we don't go up to 600,000 and we crash back down to 209,000? It may. We could also go up to 600,000 and stay at 400,000 in 4 years too. That's also within the model. But I just wanted to explain where this model was in terms of understanding this. Does anybody? I think everybody can kind of say, yeah. So it's, as Sin says, for sure, not by chance. You're not going to get these 4 lines line up like that. That has a 99.98%. So that's less than 0.2% difference in explanatory power, which is just crazy, right? It's just crazy accurate. The only thing I really want you guys to get out of this is, number one, we are not losing our mojo, right? This model is not breaking down. We're not sort of slowing down automatically. Nothing like that at all, right? We are completely on track for this power law. We're just 100% on track for this power law. And actually, 61,000 is exactly where this thing should be right now. It's just like by miracle. It shouldn't be at 200,000. It shouldn't be at 80,000. Shouldn't even be at 70,000. It should be at 61,000. That's what the model would have predicted. So it's kind of unbelievable. And I know, listen, I felt richer at 70,000. I'm sure you guys felt richer at 70,000, right? But we have diamond hands, right? We're in it for the long haul. I plan to be here for the next halving and the one after that and the one after that, right? I hope you guys are in it for the long haul, because this is a long haul trade, guys. You got to believe in this thing. I'm kind of like want to spread the gospel, like, St. Paul the Apostle, right? But Yeah.
Before we proceed with more of Fred Krueger's latest forecasts for this cycle, here's a quick update on the latest news that you might also want to know about. Michael Saylor, the founder of MicroStrategy, employed a stock sale plan last year, allowing him to sell up to 400,000 shares in the first 4 months of 2024. With this plan nearly complete, he has sold about $370 million worth of shares, benefiting from MicroStrategy's soaring valuation, largely due to its significant investment in Bitcoin. While some speculate on his motives, attributing the sales to other investments, analysts believe they're part of a predetermined plan. MicroStrategy's strategy of leveraging its balance sheet to invest in Bitcoin without management fees has been successful, with the company recently raising funds to acquire more Bitcoin. With the Bitcoin halving and the potential for continued price appreciation, analysts maintain a bullish outlook on MicroStrategy's prospects. Let us now turn our attention back to Fred Krueger as he shares his bullish forecast for Bitcoin's performance this year and in the years to come.
There is this great model, which is a real-time model, right? Which I put a link to. Let me find that real-time model on this Twitter, right? So I put in this middle. Okay, look at this chart. This chart here is a great chart to look at. So what do we have at this chart? It says the green line is exactly the middle line, right? And it says right now, the fair value of this line is the fair value is 74,000. So we're a little bit below this particular model, right? These things aren't exactly accurate, but it's 76,000. So we're cheap, right? Right now we're at 60. It says 67. That's not accurate, but 61. The fair value is 77 according to this model. The purple line is what they call resistance. I think they calculate that at 2 standard deviations, but I'm not 100% sure. And then the support is at 1 standard deviation below, which is about half, right? It's about half. So it's 27,000 right now. Could we go to 27,000? We could if we started going to bit. I don't think we will, but we could, right? But like, this is the band, right? So it also says, could we go right back up to 378,000 this year? Yeah, we could go up to 356,000 this year and still be well within the model. Or we could go up somewhere next year, which I kind of think is more likely. I kind of think it's more likely that, we kind of hit like 500,000. This is where sort of Valshare Capital, sort of their prediction is. And Jeff Ross, I think he's a pretty smart guy. And he's, by the way, it's the number 1 performing hedge fund in the country right now because of his Bitcoin allocation. So if I had to guess, I would say we're kind of moving into this band here. We're going to kind of go all the way up to somewhere around 400,000. Then we're going to kind of trail back down. And then we're going to kind of meet. And here's where we're going to be at the next halving, right? Somewhere like that, right? That's kind of what I think, right? If I had to guess, right? But you can kind of use this tool. I would recommend looking at this tool because it updates all the time. It's not like one of my spreadsheets, which I may update it, I may not, but you can look at this tool. Big ranges, not useful for planning. Well, yeah, they're big ranges, but it's not useful for trading, I would say, Niz. Okay, it's not useful, but you shouldn't be trading anyways. You should not be trading. If you're doing more than 1 trade a year on Bitcoin, something's wrong with you, right? I think this whole thing is all about just, Dr. Jeff, right? Jeff Ross, exactly. So I think you should look at this stuff as a guide as to where you could be 10 years out, et cetera, right? I think that's better. That's a better way to look at it. And that's why I think this great planning thing is aped in at 2K. Well, great. I mean, that's good. I'm glad you aped in at 2K. I mean, look, everybody gets Bitcoin at the price they deserve. That's great. But look, this thing is not going to stop, right? You don't go from a tenth of a penny here or 10 cents to $70,000. You don't do that and stay within all these bands by accident. This is not happening by accident. I just think that's really just what I wanted to share today. I don't need to go over the power law, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody there was this narrative about the halving sort of losing its momentum and, oh, things are going to happen where something new is happening. No, nothing new is happening here. And if anything, even these ETFs are not new, right? It's like, what's new in this thing? You know, this little bump here, that's not new. We had a bump like that in 2016, right? Early 2017. No, nothing new under the sun.
What are your thoughts on Fred Krueger's Bitcoin price predictions? Do you believe Bitcoin will reach $600,000 per coin as he forecasts? Share your thoughts in the comments section. If you found today's video informative and would like to receive more insights and updates on cryptocurrency and global finance, please consider liking the video, subscribing to our channel, and enabling post notifications. Be sure to stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll uncover more about the fascinating developments in the crypto space. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep investing wisely. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.